The sun burned bright over the rocky hills of Engedi. David and his loyal men moved quietly through the dry wilderness, always looking over their shoulders for King Saul's soldiers. Each footstep raised a puff of dust. Birds circled high above, and the wind whispered through the cliffs, carrying a single question in David's mind. When will this chase end? At last, they found a cool cave. "Here, my lord," said Abishai. "We can rest. No one will find us here." The cave was deep and dark, a place of safety and shadows. As they settled, David knelt on the stone floor and prayed softly, "Lord, be my light in this darkness. Let me walk in your peace, not in fear." Far away, King Saul marched with his soldiers. "Search every valley," he shouted, but the king's heart was weary. Jealousy and anger had stolen his rest. By fate's hand, Saul entered the very cave where David hid. He did not know. He only wished to rest a while, unaware that his enemy was watching from the shadows. David's men trembled with excitement. One of them whispered, "Look, my lord, God has given your enemy into your hands. Strike him now." All eyes turned to David. David's hand touched his dagger. His breath slowed. He looked at Saul, tired, broken, unaware. His mind battled between justice and mercy. Slowly, David crept closer. Every rock, every breath, every sound seemed louder in that holy silence. He raised the dagger, then paused. In that moment, David heard the whisper of God in his heart. "Do not harm him. Show mercy." And David lowered his blade. Quietly, he cut off a small corner of Saul's robe. Not his life. It was a symbol, a message, a test passed. His men stared, shocked. "Why did you spare him?" one asked. David replied, "Because even kings who fall deserve the mercy of God." Saul rose and walked out into the bright sunlight. Not knowing how close danger had been, the sound of his sandals faded down the path. David stepped into the light after him, holding the torn piece of cloth high. "My lord the king," he called. Saul turned in astonishment. There stood David, not as a rebel, but as a servant, bowing low in respect. David's voice echoed across the cliffs. "Why do you listen to those who say I wish you harm? See, the Lord delivered you into my hands today, but I spared you." He held out the torn corner of the robe. "This is proof, my king, that I seek not your throne, only peace." For the first time in many moons, Saul's heart softened. He looked at the piece of his robe and then at David. Tears filled his eyes. "You are more righteous than I," Saul said softly. "You have done good to me, though I meant you harm. Truly, the Lord is with you." For a fleeting moment, the valley felt still. No chase, no anger, no fear, just two men, both chosen by God, standing in the sunlight of forgiveness. David bowed again and said, "May the Lord judge between us, and may he reward each according to his heart." Saul nodded and whispered, "When you become king, promise me mercy for my family." David promised. Then Saul returned to his palace, and David to the wilderness, their paths parted by destiny, yet joined by mercy. That night, David sat by a small fire. The desert stars blinked above. He replayed the moment in his mind. The dagger, the whisper, the choice. He picked up his harp and sang softly. "The Lord delivers me from fear. His mercy is my shield. His love, my song." His soldiers gathered, listening in awe. They had seen a warrior's courage, but now they saw a king's heart. David turned to them and said, "True victory is not in the sword, it is in forgiveness." They nodded, humbled. When dawn broke, the light painted the cliffs gold. David smiled. He had lost nothing and gained peace. He looked into a stream and saw his reflection, tired, dusty, but calm. "Lord," he whispered, "thank you for teaching me to choose mercy." The wind carried his prayer across the desert, over rocks and rivers, to the heart of every soul who would one day read his story. David wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He restores my soul and leads me beside still waters." Little did David know that this lesson, mercy over revenge, would guide him when he became king. Years later, he would tell his children, "There was once a day when I could have taken vengeance, but I chose love." Because of that mercy, God blessed David greatly in wisdom, peace, and honor among men. When you forgive, your heart grows stronger. When you show mercy, you make room for miracles. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is divine strength. Mercy opens the door to peace and blessings that last forever. Do not repay evil for evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:20, 1 p.m.